What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
The holiday season is officially upon us.
It is.
For the first time in a while, it's been nice to hear the holiday music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work retail. I haven't for a while now. But even going to stores, just hearing holiday music shoved down your throat just really annoys you.
Oh, yeah.
I still have retail PTSD from way back.
Same as me. Up until I want to say only 2 years ago, I was working retail and I had to hear holiday music and it had to be shoved down my throat every freaking year.
I used to work at Party City. We weren't allowed to even play like the general music stations, the Muzak as they used to call it. Muzak, for those that are too young to remember, certain retail stores could only play a satellite feed of pre-approved music for that store.
Mm-hmm.
Certain stores didn't have the rights to play certain songs. So you had to tune into a retail satellite feed.
I always wonder what that was because it was always generic songs that were songs that you know, but it was always sung by like maybe like a cover band or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never like asked, but like because some of the songs were licensed to be used at certain stores, but like a lot of those songs were just retail, what I used to call retail music.
Yeah. That's why you would hear like jazz renditions of Rudolph and White Christmas. It's because that retail chain did not pay for the rights to play certain songs.
After all this time.
Yep. Certain stores would tune in to a certain station and they could play this copyright-free music. Well, I worked at Party City for 3 years. We did not have music. We had to play the CDs that we were selling in stores.
Oh, God.
We only had a handful of them.
Oh, jeez.
Most of them didn't last longer than an hour's worth of music. So even if we had 4 CDs, within an 8-hour shift, you would hear each of those CDs twice during your shift.
Yikes.
That was saying we had 4 CDs. Certain holidays, we did not. Certain years, we did not.
Oh, damn.
So if you were annoyed by hearing holiday music, imagine hearing holiday music sung by people that aren't as good or as famous.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. This year, the holidays are going to hit everyone a little different. Obviously, biggest reason being the pandemic.
Yep.
Well, unless you're just a total jackass and you're still going to have a big family gathering and give grandma COVID so she finally can have her last Christmas. I know she annoys y'all and y'all may be sick of her bringing fruitcake every year, but damn, you ain't got to kill her with COVID.
Definitely cut the social gatherings out this year, please.
Like I said, I know a lot of us don't enjoy being around certain family members or in-laws, but damn, do you got to kill them slowly with COVID? No.
Yeah.
No, you do not. This holiday season is definitely going to hit different. We are all forced to celebrate differently. I saw during Thanksgiving, some people were actually doing Skype calls or Zoom call Thanksgivings.
Mm-hmm.
I was too lazy to do any of that. I did not Skype call any of my family members. We barely even text each other, but our family's not that close. Shana and I have both had family members that have caught COVID and almost died. That shit ain't no joke. But anyways, I'm not here to lecture y'all about COVID. We're here to talk about holiday shit. Since we can't celebrate the holidays the way we normally would, I just thought it'd be fun just to reflect on some of the holiday events we have had.
Mm-hmm.
The good and the bad. I see a lot of y'all on social media getting mad that you can't go see your family for the holidays. But then when you really think about it, are all your holiday gatherings that great?
But then also, people don't see their family members until the holidays. You gotta ask yourself, was seeing that person that important to you the rest of the year? So why is this one time of the year just up your ass? Like,
that's a great point.
Why couldn't you see Granny during the rest of the year?
That is a great point. If you really, quote unquote, loved your family like that, if you really love seeing everybody, you would have saw them throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
This is directed to those of you that live within a 1 to 2 hour drive of your family members.
Yeah.
Y'all getting mad, y'all can't see your family members, but you've had all year to see them, and y'all live in the same town. Anyways, Not trying to talk about that, but that was a great point too. Anyways, wow. Thanks for that detour, Shana.
Sorry.
Thanks for that.
I didn't know you were so passionate about it. People be frustrating me during this pandemic, though, for real.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we ain't here to talk about that. I just wanted to say.
No, but that is a good segue into what I wanted to talk about today. We miss these things because we only think about the good. We think about the nostalgia of like, I remember this amazing family event, but then you forget about all these shitty family events or the shitty gatherings. So today we're going to talk about some holiday parties, the good and the bad. That way, when you get this tingly holiday spirit that you want to break quarantine and go put your grandma at risk that she might die after Christmas dinner, you might change your mind.
Yep.
Let's get right into it. A lot of y'all know my family isn't the closest. We love each other. We care about each other, but we don't have a lot of sentimental shit that we do together.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday gatherings are no excuse. When we were younger, it was nearly non-existent. We didn't have family gatherings. We didn't do none of that shit. We didn't have dinner together. Christmas was just, hey, mom and dad got money to pick one item and that's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
As adults, my brothers and I tried to make up for our crappy holidays with our parents.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after my dad passed away, we wanted to spend time with my mom and just really give her a holiday experience.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to do something special. We wanted to just start family traditions. My brothers were having kids. They wanted to instill this family values that we never had, right? Boy, did my mom just shit on our Christmas parade. You would think mom would be the one that wants to bring the family together.
Mm-hmm.
You would think we took her hostage to come to our family gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple years we tried to have a family gatherings. The brothers, their kids, well, not my kids because I don't have any kids that I know of. No, I don't. You should have saw Shana's face. What you mean, not that you know of? It was always my brothers, their kids, and me, and whoever I was with at the time, right? There was one year, I'll never forget this year. No, this happened 2 years in a row. Mom had the same cut-paste reaction and experience. I remember it came time to open the gifts.
Mm-hmm.
It became tradition for the kids to open the gifts. By this time, we would have been together for at least an hour. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd gather, have dinner, and then open gifts. We're not even done with dinner. Mom's looking at her watch. Are we done yet? Looking at her watch. Are we done yet? There's a feast in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, I don't like this. Mind you, my mom's not a bitch or anything. She just doesn't like traditional American holiday food.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like turkey, stuffing. She doesn't like American food.
Mm-hmm.
My mom only eats Asian food. That's it. She's having a miserable time at dinner. There's no liquor.
Damn.
My brothers only drink beer. Y'all have heard me say this before. My mom's a Henny drinker.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Hennessy because my brothers don't drink Hennessy.
How you gonna torture your mom like that? You gonna drag her to some holiday bullshit and then not have any liquor that she likes to drink?
Yeah. Nope.
I would be pissed too.
We get to gift opening, right? My nieces and nephews start opening up presents from grandma. Thanks, grandma. How'd you know I want this book set? Thanks, grandma. How'd you know I want this video game? My mom has no idea what's going on. She's like, you're welcome. So if y'all hadn't figured it out, we bought gifts and wrote from grandma.
Just because you knew she didn't come prepared.
We knew she didn't come prepared. Why do we know? She pretty much just told my brothers, look, I don't know what your kids want. I haven't seen them in months. Here's some money. Buy them some gifts and say it's from me.
Me as a grandma in the future.
My mom just sat there with the fakest smiles of all time.
Damn.
Like, Mom. I don't blame her, though. She's probably thinking, well, if you gave me some Hennessy, I could have put on a better act.
Exactly.
Kids open their gifts. She looks at us like, can I go now?
Damn.
One year, we were bold. My brothers and I confronted my mom. Why do you want to leave so bad? We never get the family together. Quick note on that. It's me and 3 brothers. My mom had 4 boys. It is rare to see us 4 together.
Mm-hmm.
You would think every leader of every nation from Avatar got together. You never see the 4 nations in our family get together.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, because every brother has beef with another brother. For some reason, we have a favorite brother and a brother that we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a different one. So all of us don't get along like that. We tolerate each other, but let's be honest. We don't like each other like that. For all four of us to be there, that is rare. Look at mom. Can't you appreciate this moment that we put aside our differences for you? She's like, yes, I do appreciate seeing you guys here, but that don't mean I have to be here all damn day. I've seen you guys your entire lives. I'm over it. Wow, mom.
Me as a mom.
Again, maybe some Hennessy would have changed her attitude up a little bit. So mom is sitting there just trying to go. Mom, why do you want to leave? Because I want to go hang out with my friends. She knew this was her day off and their day off. She wanted to go. Now that she's retired, her 1 day party has become a 3-day party, a 4-day party. We look back at this year's Thanksgiving. Now that my mom and her younger sister, my aunt, are on Facebook, we saw she partied for 4 days straight for Thanksgiving.
The thing I love about Renji's mom is that she is a total rock star. A total rock star. She is the epitome of who I want to be if I ever become a mother. She is so nonchalant. Like, she's caring. It's not that she doesn't care, but she's just very nonchalant, to the point. It's never like a whole thing with this person. And I love that about her, because my family is the opposite. I hate going through the process, all the questioning, all the catching up. His mom will talk to him for a good 5 minutes and be good for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I would love that. I would seriously love that.
Yeah, she's straight to the point. Are you healthy? Are you good? Do you have any problems? Okay, talk to you next time.
And it's because all of her kids know where she's at. If they ever have a problem, all they have to do is call her. That's it.
Yeah, and she also trusts and believes in her kids too. She knows me not to be stupid. So she doesn't have to pick at me and question me. If I was a stupid kid and I was going to get in trouble, I'd be dead or in jail by now.
Exactly.
And she knows that. So that's why her conversations with me are so brief.
That's all I've ever wanted from my parents. But no, I can't even get that. I love his mom to death. Just on that fact alone, just because she's so brief. I love that.
And the word rock star for my mom isn't too far off. My mom is a singer. Towards the end of her work career, she started singing at events. It started as a hobby, but she turned it into a side hustle. When she retired, all she would do was sing at Asian parties. And that's how she made her money. Makes sense why she's so quick to get up and go and drink and party, because that was her life after retirement.
Total rock star. I had the pleasure of seeing this woman perform once or twice. It was nothing I have ever seen before in my life. This woman would just show up. She would just arrive dressed to a T, hat, dress, shoes, jewelry. She just arrives at this place, at the party, gets on stage. Suddenly there's spotlights, there's musicians, there's background singers, there's nobody that was there before just came all together. Just magically appeared. She's got smoke coming behind her. She is a total rock star. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this woman will arrive to a party, blow everybody away, and then just go deuces and just leave. I'd be like, who is this woman?
Right?
And she'd be like, oh, that's just my mom. Just forget it. How can I forget something like that?
Yep. During these events, my mom will totally want to talk and hang out because she's in that business mode. She's in that party mode. So she's totally just super social, want her kids to come to her gigs. But she never has that same attention span at these family gatherings because she's keeping it real. She's like, I'm bored. These are your kids, not mine. I raised you guys. You guys are good.
Done. She's retired.
It ain't my job to raise your kids now.
Exactly.
Let me live my life.
I know. Like, if you want her to perform for you, you better pay her performance fee.
And one last note about my mom. We would always wait to give her her gift. And this is where I get my pickiness from. My mom would never appreciate what we gave her. She would always be like, oh, that's nice. How much you pay for it? You know you got it here for cheaper. Why'd you buy that? I don't even wear that anymore. I'm not even into that.
He's the same way, y'all. Renji is the same. I cannot buy this man a gift to save my life.
I am the hardest person to buy a gift for. Because I don't really want a lot of material things anymore. The things I want are things I need, like camera equipment, but that shit's expensive. Everything I buy is usable. That makes it hard. And then B, I'm such a good shopper, I guess, for lack of better words. Shauna likes to say, you're just a cheap penny pitcher. No, I know where the sales are. I see when things are on sales. I know what things cost what. Just like my mom, I'll be like, oh, you pay too much for that.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that so much because if it's something that I personally want, I will buy it. Even if it's for him. Like if it's something that I know he wants, I'm not gonna look for the best price. I'm just gonna buy it. That's just me. But we're two different people in that way. But he gets it from his damn mama.
And even with that, I feel bad that she spent that much money on it. So I want Shauna or whoever buys me a gift to get the best value for their money. Because sometimes it's like, you could have just saved that for yourself instead of spending all that money on me.
And sometimes it'd be a matter of $5. Like
Hey.
I don't even care. It's $5.
Yeah, you don't care now, but me, there was a time where $5 meant you didn't eat that night. So, anyways,
True.
different walks of life.
I just ask him what he wants, and I just buy it for him. And I ask him where to get it from, and if he's got any coupons. I want to share my family traditions. Coming from a family from the South with an F.
South.
Most of my family's from like the deep South, and they all came to Chicago and settled down. We always had family gatherings every holiday, whether it be Thanksgiving, Christmas, even Easter, because my family was very religious. In the house that I grew up in, there was like a really big dining room with one of those like big family tables where there was like 12 chairs and everything. And I can always remember just having that big turkey or big chicken in the center of that table, and then all the rest of the fixings and everything around it. And I just always had fond memories of my family meeting and just being all at the same table at the same time, because being from a Southern family, nobody settled down in the same area. So during those holidays, that was the only time we saw each other. And it was a lot of people. Suddenly I had 36 cousins that I had never met.
Yeah.
I'd be like, who is this? Who is that person over there? Sometimes it'd be like someone new, different every time. And I'd be like, where did this person spring up
new
from?
cousin.
Yeah. One of the last heads of my family recently just passed away last year. So unfortunately, I will never really have that big family gathering ever again in my family, because a lot of us aren't very close like that. So it would have took one of the heads of the family to gather everybody up. And now that that person's gone, I'm just never going to have that experience again. Which is why I take a lot of these holiday traditions that me and you have come up with very seriously. And we do it consistently every year. Like we'll celebrate Christmas on Thursdays or do Thanksgiving whenever we had the time, back when we were both working full-time jobs. So a lot of that gathering kind of mentality is still with me. And I wish that I could do it with, more people from my family and more people from your family. But our families are different. So we will never come together like that in that way. But that's why I hold these memories so dear to me, because it's something that I loved having.
Yeah.
It was something that's always going to be a part of me. We'd always get together, eat dinner, tell stories. Me as a kid and me and my two cousins, Eric and Justin, we would always just be running around and playing. And those are times that will always be so dear and true to me. And I hope that we could continue some of those traditions for years to come.
I couldn't imagine my jungle Asian family with your Southern Black family. Oh my God.
They would not get along.
Could you just imagine that mashup?
I couldn't say like if they wouldn't get along, because they would still have those kind of same, I don't know, like Southern people and like country people and like people who aren't from like major cities all find something in common.
I mean, yeah, minorities, for lack of better words, usually can mesh. It's when you mix it up with a good old American white family. What do you mean you season the turkey? Don't you just put water on it and put it in the oven for 16 hours? No. Don't you just put cranberry sauce and gravy on it? No.
No. Don't you just put marshmallows on sweet potato? No.
No. If you cook the turkey right, you don't need any other sauces on it. You can just slice the turkey and enjoy it.
Don't put no barbecue sauce on that shit. Don't put
ketchup. But If we want to stereotype, I think Hennessy would bring the families together. Asians love Hennessy. Black people love Hennessy.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be something that in common.
That's the peacemaker. Hold the bottle of Hennessy up. The Lord has come with Hennessy.
I'm sure that's all your mom wanted for the holidays.
Oh, yeah. You bring Hennessy to any event, my mom is down.
And she starts singing. So
Yeah, 2 in 1. She'll cook and sing. A bottle of Hennessy.
Right?
I would always see these big family gatherings on TV and in movies, and I always wanted them. But like I said, we tried as adults, but it just felt so forced. The best we got was the cousins holiday, where my cousins and my brothers, we got together and had a big holiday feast. It went well for the most part, except for my mom and her sisters. They all just wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to do their own thing.
Same, yeah, exactly. They had a party to go to, and they was going together.
Mm-hmm.
But even for me, I'm not that close to a bunch of my cousins. I felt bad because I didn't even know which one were their kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is little Tommy. Who's this little shit? Remember Tommy, my second son? You had a first son?
I know, right?
I'm so bad. I'm so bad with that. Maybe I get that from my mom. Who knows? I'm so bad at keeping track of which one of my cousins had kids.
Right.
I have so many cousins, and they have so many kids. I'm good just trying to keep track of my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest brother and my other oldest brother have so many kids.
That's a good point because the very last family gathering that I was at, unfortunately, was for a funeral. A lot of those people came up to me and knew exactly who I was. But I'm like, who the hell are you? Mm-hmm. Who are you? Where did you come from? Whose cousins' cousins are you?
Exactly.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, I appreciate the family aspect, but if you beyond my first or second cousin, then I don't care who you are. I'm sorry, because when it comes to Asian families, depending on how you flip it and twist it around, everybody's our cousin. We come from a small region of the world where if you want to do it like that, we all related then.
Exactly. Everybody can.
Just like people in Denmark. That's why they have an app to tell you who your cousin is.
Oh my.
Since your family was so traditional, y'all got deep roots in the South, what did y'all usually have? Like, what was your food like? For us, jungle Asians, that shit didn't look like Christmas at all. We had turkeys because our parents worked at places that gave us free turkeys. Mm-hmm. My parents had no idea what to do with it. We would have a turkey that just stayed frozen all year. Sometimes we wouldn't even cook it for
just throw it in the
fire. Holidays. Yeah. Or it would get chopped up for like pho or soup. Mm-hmm. But we never had a whole turkey as you see in the postcards and shit. Mashed potatoes and sides, forget it. Mm-hmm. Christmas Day, you would have rice, some fish, and some egg rolls. So what did you guys have?
You're used to me cooking like a lot of the side dishes along with like the chicken or turkey, whatever we have every year. But you're used to me doing like the mac and cheese, the candy yams, the stuffing. Well, we call it dressing. It's dressing. The dressing. And maybe I'll do like rolls or something or cheddar bay biscuits. But my family had way more than that. You're used to what I cook and you're already over it. But like my family would go in. So besides all of that, we would have like a turkey. My aunt would go to like the honey ham place. I forgot what exactly it was called, but it was like this honey ham place where everybody would go and pick up a ham every year. And that place would be packed every year. You have to make an appointment to just pick up your damn ham. Mm-hmm. My mom would do the chicken. My grandma might do a chicken and a duck. And somebody would bring over like maybe a roast beef some years.
Jesus. All the animals.
All of the animals. I'm not done with the sides yet. So we had the traditional, mac and cheese, candy yams, dressing. We had the chicken and dressing all together, Then they would break out the collard greens. I never even make greens because after everything that you eat from me, you don't even want anything else. So they did the collard greens. Then they would go as far as making chitlins. And I freaking hated chitlins. I have never tried them, but the smell alone just always turned me off. I've never in my life tried chitlins. I can't get past the smell because at the butt crack of dawn, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, they would have to clean them all out. They would get a bucket of chitlins because they would sell that shit wholesale.
Quick note for those that don't know what chitlings or chitterlings are. I'm talking to you white people and some Asian people. They are the intestines of cows and pigs. Usually the stuff you throw away when you buy cuts of meat.
It's the lower intestine that still has like the boo boo in it.
The boo boo tubes.
Yeah, the boo boo tubes.
The boo boo straws, whatever you want to call them. Pig boo boo straws. Pig or cows, whichever you choose. Ugh, twisty straws. Maybe that's where twisty straws came from.
Ew, no, stop.
I've ruined twisty straws for everybody. Every time you take a drink out of a twisty straw, you can think about animal boo boo in them. But anyways, they come in a bucket. That makes sense why you start early and
They started at least my family did. My family would start at the butt crack of dawn. And you knew it was Thanksgiving in my house because you smelled at the butt crack of dawn. I didn't even finish sleeping.
It was boo boo o'clock.
It was boo boo o'clock. That shit was ripe. It went up your nose and you was like, damn, I'm awake.
Boo boo o'clock.
Boo boo o'clock. Because they had to wake up so early because it would be like a bucket, like a whole bucket of these intestines. And you can imagine like a human's intestines, supposedly, if you stretch them out long enough, they can spread across like a whole football field.
Yeah.
So imagine a pig or a cow, they're bigger than us. So like they have to go through all of these tubes and just like clean them out. And some of them will be sitting in bleach already. So the mix with boo boo and bleach, it already stank. It's like a type of bleach that they use to clean out the intestines, and they'll already be sitting in the bucket with the intestines. So my family would just be cleaning that shit at the butt crack of dawn, at the ass crack of dawn, and I would just be like, "Yep, it's Thanksgiving."
God, you thought trying to get the last drop of sugar out of pixie sticks was bad. You trying to squeeze the poop out of miles of intestines?
It was disgusting, and like I couldn't get past the smell alone. So that's the reason why I've never tried chitlins at all. But I guess when it's all clean and it's God, I'm getting like sick. I'm having PTSD from my childhood because I can smell it now. I can smell it now. Oh God. But after it's all said and done, it's clean, it's whatever, it's cooked. The way that they eat it, they put hot sauce on it and they eat it with the dressing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we have so many like side dishes along with the meat is because the flavors all mesh together. It's kind of like science. It's like you can't have the mac and cheese and the greens and the dressing because it's all like bland and salty. It's like bitters. You have to mix it with the sweet.
Yeah.
But chitlins is on that same note. So you have to mix that with some kind of like some seasoning because it's just intestines. That's all it is. Ain't no seasoning on that. Like I don't even know how they make it. I wouldn't know because I've never had them. But you're supposed to eat everything together, so it's like it's different like flavors and everything when you eat it all together. Point is, chitlins are not the deal. I will never ever get into that shit. I will never try it. You cannot pay me enough money to go near it. But it was chitlins, collard greens. The only thing I don't make for us is maybe some like different kinds of rolls. We would have all kinds of rolls. We would have the Hawaiian ones, the dinner ones, and maybe some biscuits, like actual biscuits,
and cornbread,
and cornbread, and that would be everything. I don't make everything because I know your ass is gonna complain because you don't like to eat a whole bunch of sides.
No, I don't.
He is difficult, but
well, I come from a family where you get meat and you get rice, and that's it.
Not even to throw in the desserts. My mom would make this decadent, amazing, rich German chocolate cake. It is this very rich chocolate cake with coconut frosting and walnut topping. It's a 3-layer cake. Sometimes she would do 2, but most of the time it would be a 3-layer cake, and then each layer there is the coconut and walnut icing on it. She would have that, a pound cake, and a pumpkin pie or a sweet potato pie, and maybe a peach cobbler if somebody was feeling generous that year. It was a lot of food.
It was.
It was a lot of food. I will say it just depended on whose house you went to. Later on, after my grandparents passed away, it was between my mom and my aunt. They were close sisters. So my aunt, if we went over to her house, I mean, I guess it got worse because my aunt would make all of that, but then my mom would make her version of all of that.
Okay, see right there that
So it got complicated over the
side
years.
dish rivalry.
But nobody batted an eye. My mom would bring hers over, or my aunt would bring hers over to our house. We would just have a feast, and everyone would be happy. Because my mom made the best mac and cheese. My aunt made the best turkey, and she got the best ham from Honey Ham. But my mom made the German chocolate cake. My aunt did like the peach cobblers and the pound cakes and whatever. But they all had something that they were good at.
Yeah.
But everybody just came together and ate it all because no one else in my family could make those things. So nobody was complaining.
I just realized you named off a lot of sides and shit that most people have never even heard of.
Oh, I forgot the green beans. Green beans and potatoes. It was a lot of food.
I've seen some of y'all's Thanksgiving videos and pictures, and y'all maybe had a turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffings, green beans, and that was it. Whatever didn't come in your Thanksgiving kit or Christmas kit, I've seen that in previous years. Y'all didn't even have any of this shit. I'm sure a lot of y'all scratching your heads like, collard greens?
Okay, mustard greens. Have you heard of that? Mustard greens.
No. All the Karens out there have never even heard of greens.
What kind of greens? Like salad?
A lot of people haven't even heard of seasoning their turkey.
I just found out what brine was. Brine. It's when you take water and put like lemons and thyme and rhyme and crime and all this stuff that we've never even used before in our lives and put it in water and let the turkey sit in the water for 24 hours. And you take that turkey out the water and you put it in the oven for like 16 hours or so. And that's the turkey.
I've seen those recipes. It's like you might as well wave a magic wand and hope your turkey tastes good.
I'm like, what the hell is brine?
If those are those recipes, if you want like a light little season, yeah, exactly, a little kiss of limey saltiness, where if you would just squeeze a lemon wedge on top of it, you would have the same flavor. Anyways, ain't trying to diss on traditional turkey recipes, but when I was trying to look up like how to cook turkeys and stuff for Thanksgiving or past Christmases, they've all been whack. How does this even taste good? And then you keep on reading and it'll say some shit like, make sure you have a side of gravy because this is gonna taste like shit. I mean, they don't say that, but that's what they really meant.
So with my family dishes and everything, along with waking up to the smell of shit every holiday, it was also a way for me and my family to, bond and get closer because I would have to help break the beans, the green beans, to get all the seeds out of them, and then help my grandma shred the cheese for the mac and cheese, and I would help her clean the collard greens because we don't get anything out of the can.
I was about to say,
we do not.
You just said a whole bunch of shit that ain't nobody know about. Because my mind was just like, oh, you talking about fresh ingredients.
Oh, yeah. Cause I meant to say that before. We're not preparing anything. We're making everything.
You ain't busting out the Fallout shelter canned foods. Okay.
If you've never seen a collard green or like greens in general, go to the supermarket and go to, I guess, the green section and like, those big things that you see sitting there that ain't nobody touching except for when the holidays come around, those are collard greens, okay? They're huge. We had a double-sided sink. You would rip that green plant apart, put that shit on either side of the sink, fill it all up with water, pour salt all over it so it like gets all clean and everything. And that's how you prepare the collard greens. And then you would soak that with bacon and ham hocks. Oh, that shit. Ooh, you cook that all together.
Once again,
Ugh.
you blowing people's mind like, wait. You soaking vegetables with ham hocks and bacon?
You soak it and then you cook it. It's science. Southern food is science.
You getting too advanced because a lot of our listeners don't even know what the hell ham hocks are. And then to know that it's a marinade for vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
That's how my family did it, at least.
I'm talking a lot of shit, but I've never had a holiday dinner, Thanksgiving or Christmas, that the vegetables didn't come out of a can. The potatoes came out of a box. And the vegetables came out of a can.
Oh,
so
no,
I'm talking
honey.
shit about myself as well. So if y'all getting offended, no, I'm right there with you.
You're not even going to have breakfast that day because the whole kitchen is tied up. Like, you better not even want breakfast that day.
Damn.
If you trying to make something other than what we're making at that moment, you can forget it. Forget everything up until that dinner is prepared and cooked and everything's ready because the sink's tied up, the stove is tied up. If you have 4 burners, you use all 4 burners.
Yeah.
If you had 6, that's extra. That's bonus points. So, and if you had the oven, that was even more bonus points because everything's cooking at the same time.
Someone out in the backyard with a bonfire just cooking extra shit.
My family would do that. We had a barbecue too. My mom would be out there smoking meats and stuff. And I'd be
Damn.
like, it was a production. It was science, okay? Like, when I say my family's from the South with an F, I meant that shit because my holidays were tied up with just cooking. That's it.
I know nothing about that life.
I had my very own apron when I was a kid. I was in the sink with my feet just cleaning the greens, like stepping on the greens.
That's some old school shit. Damn. In the 10 years I've known you, I'm hearing a lot of this for the first time. So it's blowing my mind right now.
Well, every time I cook holiday dinner, you always like just check out because you don't like having more than 2 sides with your dinner, no matter what the occasion is.
Facts.
So I never explained to you the science of my Southern family get-togethers and cookings and yeah, seriously, like this is not an exaggeration. My grandpa would literally hold his arms open and be like, "All right, baby girl, let me hoist you up into that sink.
Damn.
Get in that sink and clean them greens." I'd be like, "All right," that was my job. Like I was all ready for it. I'm like, yeah. After the smell of boo-boo already like left my nostrils, I was good. I'm like, I'm ready. Had my little culottes hiked up, and he got me in the sink, and I'd be like just mushing those greens. I'd be going at it.
Damn.
When I say we from the South, they from the South. They really from the South. They do things differently out there. So
So y'all really put your foot in the food.
that's where the term came from. When you say we put a foot in the food when the food tastes good, that's
Man,
why.
You really put your
That is
foot
why.
in this. Oh, actually, I did. I was mushing the greens
Thanks.
earlier.
I've never really seen that so much out here in California. Like those big, like collard greens. They were huge. They would rip them apart and put them on both sides of the sink.
Damn.
I would spend like a whole hour cleaning them greens.
Well,
Told you, it was science. My mom would sit there, even like by herself, will make all of this food by herself, for herself, and maybe 2 of her friends.
damn.
She has never skipped a beat. Every year, I always ask her, like, what did you make this year? Oh, honey, child, you know I've been in the kitchen all day since 6 o'clock in the morning cleaning these damn chitlins. I'll be like, all right, you have not even, like, skipped a beat. Like, my mom lives alone, mind you, so she will still make all of these things.
She'll clean the boo-boo straws.
And the German chocolate cake. So what did your family make? I'm curious now. I've never actually been to your family's house for the holidays.
When we were kids, it was just another day in the house. Our parents didn't make anything special. When we were adults and we tried to make our own Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner, it was always generic shit. You gotta have mashed potatoes and stuffing and green beans, but everything came out of a can. It was all just generic Christmas dinner kits. So nothing too exciting
And I
from
would-
that end.
I will never understand people eating mashed potatoes for holidays only. Because my family cooks that kind of stuff all the time, mashed potatoes, it was kind of a staple in my family.
Yeah.
You would have like pork chops and mashed potatoes. You would have roast beef and mashed potatoes. You would have fried chicken and mashed potatoes. I just never understood the mashed potatoes thing being a part of a holiday dinner.
Yeah.
ever.
When we try to have our cousins get together, it was a free for all. It was everyone just brought whatever they knew how to make, which is a great transition to the holiday gathering I want to talk about next. Sean and I had moved out here to LA. We don't know anybody. We don't have any family here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our immediate family is back in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
My younger brother lived in Northern California. He had moved out here a couple years before we came out here. He invited us to his place for the holidays. We figured it'd be nice. It's our first year in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something with family. When he invited us up there, he had just posted this grand Thanksgiving feast he had with his friends,
Mm-hmm.
all the traditional foods. It was very picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
They had everything you would want for Thanksgiving. I was blown away, especially because of our upbringing. We didn't have that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, cool. I would love to go up there for Christmas, have a feast with my family. He said he was inviting my aunt and my cousins from the next town over. Sacramento is not the most exciting town, first off.
No, it's a very old town.
Capital of California, I believe, but it was a very boring town. My brother is like a higher up management of apartment complexes.
Mm-hmm.
He lived in the apartment complex he managed.
Mm-hmm.
The apartment was kind of outside of town. It wasn't where things were happening. So location was like, eh.
Mm-hmm.
The city was like, eh. So we were already like, all right, this is going to be an interesting 3 days. My brother and his girl were new parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're dealing with a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of toddlers and
Mhm.
young children. So now we're dealing with all that. But we're holding on to the dinner.
And boy, was that a crock of shit and just a waste of my time. Ooh, after what I just said about what I'm used to when it comes to holiday dinners and what I usually cook, I'm thinking because, this was during Christmas time and because Renji's brother, he had just had like a seafood feast for Thanksgiving and he had like all these pictures on Instagram and Facebook about, he made like all these crab legs and mussels and clams and all these kind of things. I'm thinking it's going to be something like that. So I'm ready. I'm just getting ready because he never really said what he was cooking for this dinner.
My brother's super bougie, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
As Shana had said, he had seafood for Thanksgiving on top of the traditional Thanksgiving foods. My brother makes a lot of money and he's super bougie.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, naturally, we're thinking we're going to have a bougie Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Comes to find out, when he's cooking, him and his girl are in the kitchen. Me and Renji are in the living room having our drinks, our holiday drinks. We were being fancy that year and drinking brandy. So,
Brandy.
So we're waiting for them to whip up this dinner. Still at this point, never said what he was making. We happen to go in the kitchen to refresh our drinks. I see some little tiny, like, wingdings, like chicken wingdings or whatever, like those really tiny chicken wings. And I see that in like this bowl of marinade, and this marinade looked very bad. I hate like store-bought powdery marinades, especially ones with like high definition colors and stuff.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it so much. A lot of people who marinate their food make their marinade from scratch. My mom did it, my aunt did it, all of my family members did it. So I'm used to things that are like all natural and like, you won't ever see it come out of a jar. This pile of wingdings in this bowl was sitting in this like weird colored marinade. And I'm like, already by seeing that, I was already like just over it. I'm like, this is what we're having? Where's the crab legs? Where's the clams? Where's the oysters? Then I saw these like rice balls or something in this plastic container. And I'm like, what is this?
This is pretty much like a South Asian, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia kind of thing. First, you kind of fry this rice, and then you put it in these balls, and then you deep fry them. And then when you serve it, you break the balls open. So it's kind of like crispy and moist at the same time. It's like a textured rice kind of combination.
And with all that being said, that's a really interesting dish. That's great. I would love to try that on a non-holiday day.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because this dude's bougie, he's going to have the fixings, he's going to have the setup, right? These little tiny ass chicken wingdings and this weird ass marinade and this fried rice I've never heard of. Not even giving it a chance because it's supposed to be during the holidays and it's supposed to be a holiday dish. But this is not a holiday dish. So then they cook this stuff up. I'm getting heated now because this really did hurt my soul. They whipped this stuff up, right? Put it in a plate before me. I'm just sitting there like, all right, I'm starving, I'm hungry, I've been drinking all this brandy, I just want something to eat. Put this sad little pile of chicken wings and this dry ass fried rice in front of me. And I'm like, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's it? I was like, oh God. Oh Jesus. Jesus, somebody, whoever, take the wheel. Because I am not ready for this shit. They put this sorry ass, oh, I'm sorry. It's not, I'm not ungrateful. I'm not. But when it comes to the holidays, I'm used to a certain standard, okay? Like, I'm used to it. Guys, I ate the rice, kind of picked up the chicken, dry AF. I can't say the other word on YouTube. Dry AF. And I'm like, this can't be it. This can't be it.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Skellington over here. What is this?
We sitting here thinking maybe these are appetizers. Maybe this is just the startup. It was still early in the day. They kind of had egg rolls and stuff. We're like, okay, cool. No, this was dinner. Me growing up eating this stuff at family functions, I knew what this stuff was. But that's a big Nicki Minaj but. But because he posted this super bougie Thanksgiving Instagram video, this was a disappointment. My brother enticed us with this bougie Thanksgiving dinner video. Then he served us some bullcrap. I would have rather gone to a fast food restaurant and ate off the dollar menu than the stuff he had prepared. I'm right there with Shana.
And to make things worse, he didn't even make that much of it.
No.
He had a small container of rice that was supposed to feed 4 adults and 1 kid who eats more than all 4 of us combined.
Yeah. Because, side note, my brother was a bodybuilder at the time, and he was on his cutting phase. That meant he could only consume so much because he was trying to cut the fat and have the muscles show. So he only ate a little bit anyway, so he didn't care what bullshit that they cooked up.
Mm-hmm.
I was just surprised that this is what they decided to serve for a family gathering, and low-key, how they made it wasn't very good for what it was.
I'm still mad to this day. Every time I think about Christmas dinner, I have a shudder and I shed a tear, a single tear every year since that year. And I just been like, why? Why would you do this to me? Why? And I knew it had nothing to do with me, but why would you do this to me?
Every time he invites us back, that's the first thing Shana thinks about. It's like, are they going to cook that bullshit fried rice again? Because I'm not going. I need to know the exact menu or I am not going.
Especially not for no holiday shindig. Hell no.
Yeah, that was just the tip of the iceberg. It was bad enough we drove 5 hours there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shitty town. We had a miserable time. We're from Southern California. We don't own coats. He didn't tell us how cold it was up there. We get up there. We don't have coats. He's taking us around town, showing us old Sacramento. We're freezing our asses off.
Mm-hmm.
We're just up there with hoodies and sweaters, and he's fully bundled up like, Aren't y'all cold? Yes, bitch. Don't you see my teeth chattering? That means I'm cold.
And it was windy on top of that, too.
Yeah.
It was super windy. I felt like I was back in Chicago.
It was so bad because we were not prepared for that. Then
You're forgetting the best part. That same day after we had that shitty ass, crappy rice and chicken, he took us to a damn carnival that night.
oh yeah.
The carnival. And that was great. Like the carnival, I love carnivals. But the best thing I had that whole day, and this is sad, y'all. This is sad. The best thing I had to eat that whole day was a goddamn overpriced corn dog
Damn.
on top of the rice and the chicken that I had earlier.
Mm,
I was waiting for that
I
corn
forgot
dog.
about that.
I was waiting for that damn corn dog. I've passed by that stall so many times that day. I'm like, just wait. Just wait. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to come back around. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I had the corn dog was overpriced and nasty, but I still ate it because I was so mad. I was so mad at that freaking chicken and rice. That dry. Oh my God. How's the corn dog going to be more moist? How?
Damn.
I'm still mad.
Rip.
I feel like crying.
Needless to say, we could not wait to go back home. My brother wanted to stay there for like a few days.
Mhm.
We gave him 2 days and then we were out. To his defense, it wasn't so much about him. It was more about who we were leaving behind back in LA.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all remember from previous podcasts, we had a roommate. This roommate did not fail to live up to his reputation that he has already put forward the whole time we lived together.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time we left him alone in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
This had been 5 months of us living together.
Mm-hmm.
He was told he needed to move out at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to be out by New Year's Eve. Of course, he was a little angry and butthurt that we kicked him out.
Mm-hmm.
No, kicked out isn't a fair word. I told him back in October, it's not working out with him as a roommate. He has 10 weeks to move out. So that's just the long story short of it.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we had to rush back. Even before we left, we made some precautions, but I'll let Shana tell you about that.
If you guys remember from one of the previous podcasts, this guy had a problem with inviting women over. He was pretty much a sex addict, for a lack of better words. He had a tendency of just inviting women over all the time, no matter if we were there or not. And we knew because we weren't going to be there, there was a possibility that he was going to invite a whole bunch of girls. Or even like people that we never met or even knew. We just wanted to get back for that sake because we have expensive items. This guy had a tendency of attracting crazy people or just untrustworthy kind of people.
Yeah.
So we didn't want strangers in our apartment, at least not for too long.
And plus, we had our 2 cats
Yeah.
that he had problems with as
yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah. He, for some reason, didn't understand that cats have fur and cats shed. And he had a problem with that, even though he had his own room that our cats never went into. But in case our cats got a little too overzealous and ran in there by accident or whatever, we just didn't want any problems. So we didn't want to spend too much time away. We were smart. We at least took our PlayStations from the apartment. We took it along with us. Just so in case something like that happens, and if something were to happen, if someone were to steal our personal belongings or something expensive, there was no way that this guy could explain that to us or have any means to pay us back.
Quick side note about all that. Everything in the apartment we owned.
Mm-hmm.
He did not own anything except one lamp that he bought for his bedroom.
And an air mattress.
No, that air mattress was ours.
Oh, right.
We owned the air mattress.
Shit.
We let him use it after we bought our bed.
Mm-hmm.
We still wanted to keep that air mattress in case we had friends over or something. No, he claimed it as his own, had a bunch of random sex on it, and popped it.
Mm-hmm. He also had a tendency of stealing our like movable furniture pieces, like our ottoman. We had like a little miniature ottoman that came with our couch that we bought. He would use that from time to time for his guests that he had in his room and stuff like that. We purposely put that ottoman in our bedroom before we left. We left it in there. I distinctly remember us putting it in there because I knew this guy had no decency. He had no sense of decency at all. He would just use our stuff, not even ask about it, just do whatever he wanted.
Before you move on any further, quick side note. We didn't even tell him we were leaving. We didn't want him to know so he could make plans.
Right.
We just packed up our stuff and left when he was at work.
Yeah. We could possibly go out there and make it back home without him even noticing because he was just that oblivious. So we thought. We make it back home. Everything's fine for the most part. We go home. He's not even there. But I notice when I get back in our bedroom that the ottoman's missing. I'm like, don't tell me. Don't sit here and tell me. This dude came in our room and took the ottoman and put it in his room. Because the ottoman wasn't outside in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I went in his room. Guess where that ottoman was sitting?
Mm.
Right there in his room.
That was a big red flag right there. One of our only restrictions was do not come in our room.
Mm-hmm.
You have no reason to be in our room. You are allowed to use the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's in there. Once again, we owned everything. All we asked was don't come in our room.
Mm-hmm.
That is just an invasion of privacy. Who knows? We might have some freaky shit in there. We might have some voodoo shit in there. You don't need to know any of that.
When he finally got home that day, hey guys, so I noticed you guys went on vacation. How did you notice we went on vacation? How? Oh, because I saw that your PlayStations were gone, so I just assumed that maybe you guys went on vacation. And I'm like, okay. So you went in our bedroom and got the ottoman? Put it in your room? Why? Oh, because, you know, I had so-and-so over. We had a party. Not a big party, no. It wasn't nothing like that. You know, they stayed in my room, but I needed somewhere for them to stay. I needed somewhere for them to sit.
Damn.
Just nonchalant.
Yeah.
Over his head. Nothing even fazed him. Nothing.
You had a whole apartment to yourself, and you had to come in our room. Another red flag. You noticed we were gone.
There's a whole couch in the living room. If you notice that we were gone, obviously we're not going to be in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want a small ottoman? Not even a big ottoman. It was like a small little square size ottoman that came with the couch.
He just told on himself so many times. You also notice our PlayStation was gone. You're looking at our stuff that hard that you're noticing not one, but 2 PlayStation 4s are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he doesn't even play video games. He has no need to notice a PlayStation is gone. We have a surround sound that has a Blu-ray player built in. So if he happened to want to watch a movie, he would only use the Blu-ray player anyway. He's not a gamer. He hasn't touched the game system since Super Nintendo. He doesn't know how to use a PlayStation 4 or 3 or 2 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then he turns around and gives us some kind of attitude like we're supposed to tell him that we're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't your daddy. I don't need to tell you where I'm going.
Oh, I'm sorry, oh great sorcerer. Are you keeper of the gates? Like, was I supposed to let you know so you could raise the bridge for me?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
He felt the type of way that we went on this short trip and didn't tell him. Our cats are good on their own for 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
We planned ahead, put out enough food, put out an extra litter box, so they were good.
Oh, he noticed that too.
Mm-hmm.
He noticed that the girls had one too many bowls of food, one too many things of litter. And that's what he noticed. The PlayStations, the litter, and the cat food.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not as oblivious as you say that, as you portray yourself to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Once you live with people, they start showing you their true colors. But that's not even the end of the story. The icing on the shit cake after this mediocre holiday getaway we had, we saved one last special thing as in case this trip sucks, this will make us feel better. We waited till we got back to open the gifts we got each other.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we had some nice shit for each other.
Mm-hmm.
This would save the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And we can end it on a positive note. We're thinking we're going to have this romantic one-on-one. We're going to open these gifts and look into each other's eyes. And jazz music's going to start playing and we're going to hump to a fireplace that's not even there. We both go to the tree, get our gifts. As we're about to start opening it, this mofo slides over a chair and he's like right here, couple feet away from us. Oh, what y'all get?
And that's not even the worst part. As we're opening our presents, he's like, that's stupid. Oh, that why'd you get him that? You know you don't like that color.
Commentary.
Oh my god.
We're trying to open these gifts, trying to salvage what's left of this Christmas weekend. And this dude is giving the Charles Barkley play-by-play. Oh, that's terrible. Who does that?
Who does that?
Who criticizes and give Yelp reviews on people's gifts to each other? We just got done telling him about himself.
Right.
That should have been enough for him to be like, maybe I crossed the line. I went in your room. I should get out of your face before things get worse. Nah. This dude's so oblivious. He just rolled up a chair. He might as well have made himself a plate of dinner and just watched us open these gifts like it was a movie.
Oh, yeah. I was appalled. I'm like, what are you even doing here? And he just had no regard. Again, just, I don't know if this guy was just, I don't even know. Clinically stupid. I have no idea.
Can you be clinically stupid? Is that a
I
thing?
I just wanted to be nice.
I mean, it could be a thing.
If you put clinically in front of it, maybe it's nicer
Everything's
to say.
nice, yeah.
There was just nothing that clicked in his brain that says, okay, I get what you're saying. I'm not going to do it anymore. No, he's just, I'm not doing drugs. I'm not bringing crackheads over. For all we know, you could be, because you don't know. You don't understand these things that we're trying to tell you.
That was always his excuse. He was like, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I got to have some kind of a vice. And my vice is women. He admitted to me he met a girl on the bus going to his audition. She happened to be an aspiring actor. They exchanged numbers. He brought her home that same day and had sex with her in our apartment.
If you at least know these people, great. Good for you. We want you to have friends. We want you to have sex partners. Whatever the case is, since this is your vice and this is what you do, fine. But don't be so stupid about the people that you bring over. Just because this guy never owned anything, he had nothing to lose. But he had no considerations for the things that we had, or the kind of people he invited over or chose to have in our own household.
Yeah.
Why would you shit where you eat, you know?
On top of that, once again, if y'all didn't catch this in a previous podcast, he would have these girls do the walk of shame from his bedroom out the door on their own. He would open up his bedroom and be like, okay, you know where the door is. You don't know if this girl's going to steal anything on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to say, but a lot of these starving artists in LA, I wouldn't put it past them to snatch a camera, snatch a console, snatch a computer on their way out. Shana's been on the train where she's seen a group of pretty-ass little white girls scamming for money and begging for change. So all this scamming shit, that ain't no surprise out here. And Shana was the one that had to experience this girl doing the walk of shame. Luckily, she was in the kitchen cooking breakfast. When she turned around, she saw a little Justin Bieber-looking white girl walking out and scared the shit out of her. She thought she saw a ghost. But if Shana wasn't there, that girl could have stole anything in that living room, because our roommate didn't have the decency to walk her out the front door of our apartment. We had a long-ass hallway. That was a decent walk from his bedroom to the front door. That's the shit he was on. That's why I didn't feel bad about telling him he had 10 weeks to move out.
Definitely.
That was like, what, the day after Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
He had 5 more days till he had to move out. And he was just on some dumb shit till the very end.
The very last day that he was there.
I didn't really think about it this way, but that was our first Christmas in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
It ended on such a shitty note.
We didn't even take pictures or anything. I have nothing from that first year.
Nope.
Nothing.
So anyways, that was our first Christmas in Los Angeles. Memories. Yeah, they sucked, but it makes you appreciate the good times you have in your life.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of y'all getting mad you can't celebrate the holidays like you used to, but really think about the holidays you've celebrated. They may have been good or they may have been shitty, just like a few of the stories we just told. So don't get so quick to be mad. Don't get so quick to catch COVID over holiday shit. Because would you want to catch COVID over some of the shit we just told you? No.
I would have been goddamn if after going through all that with this roommate, after all that, and I catch COVID.
Everyone is in the same boat. You may want to spend time with your family. Other people may want to go on vacation somewhere sunny. Nobody can do what they want right now. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyways, that's not how I wanted to end our first holiday video. It started so nice and fun, talking about little Shana stomping out greens in the sink and her family members waking up at 6 a.m. cleaning out boo-boo straws. Started so fun. And it got so dark so quick.
It did.
But you know what? That's life. You're going to have some good days. You're going to have some bad days. But all you can do is look back at it and just laugh about what you can.
Mm-hmm.
And appreciate that you're still here. Appreciate that you can look back and be like, that sucked. Because you know who can't say that? People that aren't here anymore. And that's why you need to stay your ass at home this holiday season. The best thing about spending time with your family via Skype or via Zoom, via the internet, you can always do this. Oh, grandma. Oh, mom. My Wi-Fi's cutting off. Sorry. I gotta go. And then just turn off your phone. And then boom, you're on the PlayStation. Boom, you're on the Xbox. Boom, you're having sex with your girlfriend. Because that's way more interesting than pretending you enjoy this family holiday. So think about that. Anyways, guys, not trying to tell you how to live your life, but just trying to give y'all some perspective. Let y'all think about the goods and the bads. You know, that's what we like to do here in the Shinobi Squad podcast.
Giving you our past bad experiences that we wish that we didn't have to go through in the first place. We're just here to lighten the mood. That's it.
Yeah, the Shinobi Squad podcast, we pride ourselves with sharing real life experiences for y'all. Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts popping up in the cosplay world, in the nerd world, where people want to talk about things hypothetically, where they want to argue about fandoms. But here at the Shinobi Squad podcast, we want to tell you real shit that we've dealt with. When you've lived life, you owe it to the people that come up after you to share your experiences so they don't have to make the same mistakes or deal with the bullshit you had to. That's fortune cookie wisdom. I shouldn't say fortune cookie wisdom because fortune cookies are full of shit half the time. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little holiday segment. We got more to come.
A lot more to come.
Follow us on the social medias. We are in the middle of a cross-country move. If y'all want to support us, y'all want to help us out, check out the links in the description below. Every little bit counts. We trying to get out LA ASAP. Full explanations are in the links below.
And in a future podcast this year, that's what we're going to be going through on our Christmas and holidays. We'll be moving cross country, so it'll be a part of an episode, I'm sure. There's going to be many more stories to come.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Making more memories on the road.
Yep. Anyways, enough of our problems. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.